All right, I'm going to talk about the fasten seatbelt light timer. It's a heated timer, and they only put it on I think like 75, 76 Chevys. I have a 76, early 76 um, Chevy C10, and the fasten seatbelt light timer would come on randomly and either stay on forever or just not come on at all. And while I was switching the dash cluster out to one that I had from a 78 that had a tachometer in it, I found this little thing right here and I traced all the wiring down and found out that it powers that light. And there's a ground and then a hot in and a hot out. I'm not sure if those are right. We can look at it here. So you got the ground here, then you have your ignition hot here, and then this goes to the light. And on the inside of this switch was these two pieces of metal right here, and they would touch each other like this. And one of these ends of this heater, I guess, would connect to the ignition hot wire, and then the other side would connect to the ground. And then once it heated this stuff up, they would expand apart, which would disconnect the ignition to the seatbelt light. You can't buy this part anymore from what I've researched, and everything that I've found, like there's some people online that find timers similar to this, but they're a lot bigger. And I found this one. It's timers.shop, made in the US. It's fully programmable using this push button switch setup, or you can just ground the white and the green, or the white and the black, and however to program it here. It just came like this without any of these connectors on there. And then there's videos online on YouTube. They have a bunch of instructional videos on how to time this thing. It does like 32 different functions. So I got mine all wired up here. And the red is the hot, so it gets the ignition feed. Obviously you have the black, which is the ground, and then the yellow is considered the load, so that goes to the light. And I just took this switch apart and ripped everything out of there pretty much, and drilled a hole in the top. So it was a 5/16 hole with just a grommet on there, and ran the wires through, obviously. And then these two wires will connect to this switch here. And then I just plugged in these here to the ground and used a 9-volt battery to set this thing up. So that's how I did it there. And I connected these in here. And then I'll try to put a link to their video on how to program this thing. It's actually really easy. They have another one that's programmed through your phone, I guess through Bluetooth or something. I assume this thing is probably a little bit bigger. I mean, this thing is obviously like just the size of a quarter almost. It's tiny. Yeah, granted, it doesn't look factory by any means, but this thing's hidden up under the dash, and as long as the light works, that's really all that I'm worried about. And so far, there's a little LED inside of this thing, and I've already got this thing programmed. So basically, once I apply power to this, you'll see that LED kick on. And I've got it programmed to stay on for 15 seconds, which from what I've read is about the time frame that heated timer would open up. So that light should shut off here, there. And it'll stay off until you disconnect ignition power or shut it off. So if you disconnect it there, turn it back on, then you'll your seatbelt light timer will be coming on at the same time as this LED light here, which is ran by this yellow wire there. Haven't put it in the truck yet to check it out, but I took my test lamp or whatever and I connected it to the ground here, and then I gotta disconnect the power so I can reset it. See if I can get it to go without connecting too much stuff here. They got a lot of open wires, so we should be able to see the, there we go. So this is basically your seatbelt light timer, fasten seatbelt light timer. And after the allotted 15 seconds that I programmed it to, which you can program it to any time frame that you want, there, now it's off. So the light should work properly now, thanks to this little timer, multifunction timer. I'm gonna go put it in the truck, and then I'll try to put another video to it. And I mean, you don't need to keep any of this stuff with it connected to it. The push buttons, they don't have to be connected to it. And I actually cut these yellow and white wires slightly shorter than I wanted, because they actually will push up against this grommet on here. And you can tell right there, like, it's tightened up those green and white. I mean, you could just cut those out of there if you wanted to. You don't have to keep them in there. But once I recrimp those things down around there, just go plug it in and the light should work. So if you have any questions, just ask them down on the bottom. I'll give you what info I've got. These people have a lot of good videos on how to set this thing up. So hopefully that what I put in here will help some of you guys with these older vehicles, get them working like they should or were built. So anyways, that's that. This is one of my first YouTube videos, so hopefully it helps somebody out there. Thanks, bye.